better.
What's your takeaway?
I think we were kind of lucky to be in the game. We were way out of character, and all the things that I talked to you guys about walking into the Lions' den and the stuff that comes out of the stands, and there's no question they're difficult to beat in this environment. I just didn't like the way our guys went around about the process of playing baseball, and even Tommy's first inning, that was a tremendous job of getting out of it with one run, because he was coming apart at the seams, and there's a guy that's been through it a little bit, and that one took me back, that I was surprised he was out of the character. On the other hand, then that's also the thing that you cherish about Tommy Thorpe and the team, is their passion for winning and their desire to win for each other and those type of things. So I'm not down on them for choosing to be emotional and trying too hard, but I am surprised that they didn't use their experience and some of the things that could have calmed them down and allowed them to give themselves the best chance to playing good baseball. And I think even Wetzler at the beginning of the game looked a little out of character to me. And we had some opportunities, we didn't take advantage of it. And the hitters that I'm talking about in that case of executing or what have you, is that a case of trying too hard? And again, do I fault young men for trying too hard? No, but they should be smarter than that and know the processes should be different. And I've seen it happen before. We just didn't handle the environment very well.
4 straight innings, you get the lead on runner on, you don't get a big time, including Graybeck gets on second, and you have runners on second, third, and you just can't get that first run across.
Yeah, and very uncharacteristic of us. We're a pretty good execution team, and it wasn't necessarily the buttons that Coach Waz pushed. It was just the athletes that didn't cash in, and we're usually a pretty efficient executing type of offense, and we weren't tonight. And against a guy like Wetzler, if you're not, then you see what happens. And even at the end, we had a shot to tie it up, and at least I thought we kind of settled down a little bit. In the second half of the game, we played a little bit better, but the first part of it really should have been a 2-0 game, and Tommy was kind of walking the tightrope a little bit, and I almost took him out for his last hitter, Conforto, but I thought he might be able to get him out, and that was probably the most impressive sequence that he threw, was getting Michael out in that last strikeout.
Wetzler got himself into plenty of trouble today, and he was able to battle himself back out. Does that just kind of speak to the savviness of him as a pitcher for these guys?
Yeah, and I think both. I think it's his excellence and his experience and his toughness. And I think it was a case where we might have got ourselves out a little bit, but he did execute the pitches, and you have to give him most of the credit. I think some of those at-bats were a little out of character, but again, he's deceptive, and the ball, it's easy to hit from the dugout, as I've always said. And, if you have to sit back and get 3 hits off a guy like him, it's hard to score runs. Hit batters or walks and bunts, hitting behind guys, where it doesn't take 3 hits to get a run off a guy like Ben Wetzler. And we had some opportunities, we didn't take advantage of it.
You got 3 freshmen in this lineup going against him. This is the biggest series they've been in this year. One of the best pitchers they've faced. How do you think they fared?
Well, Balta, his first 2 at-bats were crummy. And then he settled down. Coach Waz had a good talk with them, and I thought he was looked like AJ. Graybeck had a really good night. Karaviotis, we caught him kind of being a little out of the character in infield, outfield, and I think he was Mark Karaviotis. And that's all you ever ask of freshmen or juniors or seniors, is just be themselves. Heck, let's face it, Coach Horton, this is different for Coach Horton too. I'd like to say this is just another series, but it's not. There's a reason that it's a rivalry, and then, like I said, the stuff that comes out of the stands makes you want to try too harder, coach harder, or play harder. And of course, I have a little more experience. I don't get caught up in that kind of stuff like freshmen do or college players do.
George, do you feel like that was the key of the game then for you guys, just out of character, holding on too tight kind of
Well,
thing?
let's not take away the Beavers' effort. They beat us fair and square. They out-hit us and they out-pitched us. I just would like to have seen our guys be more in the process and not result-orientated. But I don't want to take away from the Beavers' effort. They played awfully well.
After tonight's loss, you got to come back tomorrow and play in this environment again. What did you tell your team after tonight?
Well, hopefully we'll be a little more in character, and instead, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to do something very special. Not a lot of teams in the pack, or outside of the pack, or even in the country, come into Goss when the Beavers have a good club like they do, and get a series. So we still have an opportunity to win the series. Easier said than done, and that's the way we're going to look at it when our head hits the pillow. Is we have an opportunity to bounce back. That's all we can do, and the resiliency of my team is pretty good, so I think we'll be more in character.
There seemed like a few spots in the season after the fifth where Tommy could have gotten out because of the pitch count. How long was your leash during that time frame?
Well, you ended up with 114. That's a little long. And that was Michael was going to be, Conferto was going to be his last hitter for sure. And he I asked him, you tired? No, coach, you want to pitch to him? And he convinced me to leave him in. We had a left-hander ready and a right-hander ready, and luckily that didn't backfire on us. Could have got ugly in a hurry.
Thanks.